C6 and C7. He's got his, see how he's positioned his head so it's pretty much like he's standing upright with his head in a good position. And I'm helping him for the first bump that I feel, which is, I think is going to be C6 here, and I'm going to call this C7, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to do some double checking. So if this is C7, this will be T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here's 12. Okay, things that I've done that I want you to watch. For me, it's easiest to use my thumbs like this, kind of putting them in between the vertebrae. That way I can push up and down. If I do like this, I don't think that I have as much control, but that's just for me. Another thing you might notice when I'm doing this is I often have my eyes closed because I don't want to be influenced by what I see. And also I think when I'm trying to feel something, my feeling is better if I don't see anything. So what I've done here is I'm figuring this is C7, but I have to check for myself. So I'm putting my fingers between the vertebrae and walking down. Now we've got him in a position with his arms up like this, which makes these less palpable. If the patient has their head in a face cradle and their arms down, it's more relaxed, but I don't want to make him do that. So I am checking to see, and I got up to, you saw that I came down to what I think is T12, and then I slid my hand here. Am I feeling the rib? And yes, the rib is actually right here, so I know without a doubt that this is Dante's T12. And then what I'm going to do is locate his PSIS. There are different ways to find PSIS. You can follow, first you can just put your fingers down and say, where the heck are those buttons? Which on him is pretty obvious. I can run my hand along the angle of the iliac here until it ends and comes up into a bumpy point right there. I can go like this. I can isolate where his sacrum is and then nudge my hand up superior until I get to the 2 bumps. So there are different ways of finding it. Some people, like I said, you can't really palpate these. On a thin man, it's pretty easy. So here's his PSIS, and I'll put green dots on him.
They don't protrude, very much compared to the ASISs.
No, they're not like, no, they're not so much. You're right. This is pretty easy to find on most people. This can be more difficult. Okay, now I've got the PSISs, and I'm looking for the sacrum. I put my hand like this so that I can push against one lateral border and cup with my fingers against the other one. There's no doubt that that's the sacrum right there. His coccyx what I'm doing here is I'm kind of isolating his coccyx with my fingertips too. And then I'm going to push my fingers up so I feel that I'm approaching, what I'm doing here is like this. And I put my fingers up until I approach a wider aspect, which I know will be the body of the sacrum itself and no longer the coccyx. So the superior border of his coccyx is right here, and the inferior border of his sacrum is right there. So remember I said let's measure. I've got what is the proportion between the PSIS and the inferior border of the sacrum? I guesstimated that halfway on the lines between the two would lead us to bladder 32. And on him it is. There's a nice little indentation that I betcha is bladder 32. Now I'll mark these and we'll see if we can palpate the other bladders, the other sacral points. Yeah. And then his 33, which is almost not palpable, but it's going to be just positioned just a little bit medial from 32. And what I'll do is I'll mark these, and then we'll ask Dante if he minds people coming by and putting their fingers on these dots. Just don't press hard. Our sacrums I think our sacrums hold a lot of memory. 31 is even palpable on him because he's pretty a slim guy.
On S1.
Yeah, 31 is on S1. This is 31, 32, 33, and 34 is going to be really difficult to find, but it's right down here. Now, remember I said that 27 is pretty much located on the PSIS. 27 is actually, 27 is located actually just lateral to 31, or the first sacral foramen. So I'm going to put my 27s here. 28 then would be lateral to S2, or the second foramen. What number am I at? 27, 20, 29 is going to be lateral to 33, and 30 is going to be lateral to 34.
On the 1.5 line?
Yeah, on the 1.5 line. This stuff is pretty clear? Okay.
Except that standing at his head on this side, the top, the PSIS, and the next one down are totally in line, and the other side aren't.
That's just me
body
being a little, no, that's me being a little bit sloppy.
Okay.
You're talking about this and this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the next one's down.
Yeah.
I just was wondering,
No, that's me.
and I appreciate there's anatomical variations on the but even